Welcome to the FDA drug approval process. My name is Marla Helly. I'm going to be your trainer today. Today's learning objectives for our course are to look at the FDA approval process for a new drug. So we're going to describe the steps that are necessary if a drug will be approved in the United States. So we're following the Code of Federal Regulations in the drug approval process. We're going to describe what an IND is, or an investigative new drug, and then we're going to identify the contents of that IND. We're going to also look or describe at what the new drug application is and the contents of a new drug application, and then also how is it that the FDA reviews when a sponsor submits an IND and the new drug application for that drug to be approved. An overview is we're going to look at how the drug is actually developed. There are steps that need to be followed. We're going to look at the logic of how drugs are developed, and there really is a logical process in how we see a drug being developed from the laboratory and then being used in man, and then also how it's approved. We're going to also look at the basic non-clinical drug testing that is required. So what are the laboratory requirements to be able to show that this drug is manufactured and also safe before we begin testing in humans? We're going to describe the requirements for that investigational new drug, the basics of the different types of clinical phase of study, so our phase 1, 2, and 3, and the reason why we do those studies. Also the requirements that a new drug application must meet. And then also, once a drug has been approved, we need to look at the requirements the sponsor has under the Code of Federal Regulations in the development and marketing of this drug once it's been approved. So we actually still need to have surveillance of this product once it is being marketed for use, and also the purpose and reason for phase 4 studies. So when we look at the FDA, or the Food and Drug Administration, we need to look at why do we have the FDA. The FDA is here for protection of the consumer. And when we think of the consumer, we think of we as the individuals living here in the United States that are purchasing not only food, but also drugs. And under this includes medical device and biologics. So we've seen recently where there have been recalls of maybe lettuces or broccoli where there could have been contamination of our food, so ensuring that it's safe. Also drugs, before they are sold, that they are safe and effective. That labeling is also correct. That if a drug says that it is for the treatment of a particular type of cancer and stage of cancer, that it has had approval for that. That the claims that the drug maker has are truthful. But it must be approved by the FDA. Now, the FDA was founded in 1931. Congress actually will make the law under the Code of Federal Regulation, and the FDA enforces the Food and Drug Cosmetic Act of 1938. So, again, as I shared on the previous slide, we want to protect the rights, safety, and well-being of the consumer, public health. We want to ensure that even the manufacturing of our products is safe. So you think about the laboratory facilities where products are being made, that they are also following good manufacturing and good laboratory practices. So there is sterile environments, there's no contaminants.